What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So I want to talk about those narc mother-in-laws and how to tell if your partner was probably the scapegoat in the family. A lot of times you can tell by the very beginning of the relationship when your partner is constantly trying to prove something to their narc mothers and showing just how much they have accomplished something by winning you over by being in a new relationship, by meeting someone new. I mean, it's just like every little thing they have to prove it to the narc parents that they've done something, that deserve some type of acknowledgement, like they've done a good thing. And you can tell that they have narcissistic parents who have done so much of damage to their children, even when they're grown up as an adult, because they still have that childlike mentality where they run home with a good grade on a paper or a really good report card, and they're ready to just, get the praises that they should get from the parent. And they still be that way even as an adult, where they even do that when they meet someone new or they see that this relationship is going places or something like that. They got to show it off. And I mentioned that a while ago to y'all about how the narco I worked with, how the first time I was around her mom and she was like, "Thank you for being my daughter's friend." I'm like, who? Thanks someone for, like, I don't know. That was just something that I wasn't used to hearing from anybody. Now, if anything, you would be expecting to hear, "Well, nice to meet you," or something like that, but not "thank you for being their friend." Like, who said we're friends? We just worked together and I gave her a lift home. I mean, they have that thing to where the moment they meet you, they think they got you and they start to act like they own you. And you hear it in the way they communicate. They say things like they own you. They just jump to conclusions that whatever, the situation is for the time being, that it's going to stay that way, like they've accomplished something. Narc mothers, they even, like, they expect that the black sheep child, the scapegoat, to be the one to prove to them that they are worthy. And that's why they constantly do things to try to please them and make them proud. And it's sad because that is just flat out abuse, to treat this one child more special than the others and have them working overtime to prove that they are just as good as the rest of their siblings. Because one narc that I know, it's like she expects so much out of the oldest child, and it has a lot to do with her. Sad as this may sound, but it's the truth. It has a lot to do with her complexion, because she's not too fond of dark skinned people. And she's a black woman herself. She's all about this light skin, beautiful, curly, silky, long hair. And the oldest child come out with a darker complexion from her and her other child and her grandchild. And it's just like the oldest child took the complexion of the mother, who was the narc, which also turned her into a narc herself. And so it's like this child has grown up to, her daughter has grown up to constantly trying to prove, just being worthy of love, just unconditional love without being judged for every little thing in her life. So she felt pressure to, hurry up and marry, like fresh out of high school and everything. And she just constantly made her seem like, if you don't do things the way that I suggest you to do, then people are going to look at us like this. And that's how narc mothers, that's how they communicate with their children. It's like it's always a us thing. They never really let you go off and be your own individual self. And it's all a part of their thinking as they become adults, because now it's like I'm constantly have to prove to my parents, my narc parent, that I've done something that they can finally be proud of, when all your life you have done things that they should be proud of. But it's that hurt inside that narc parent that causes them to want to kind of live through their that scapegoat child, because they can use that child, as being like, as the parent being like the narc and the codependent. It's just like they can use that child for their role the best. And the other ones, it's like they're free spirits and you're just not going to have it like that with me. And they have a little bit more leeway with them. It's like they can let them get away with more, or they kind of compare the two all the time. Like I say, with that narc, the one who got a problem with her own child's complexion, it's like it's a constant, pushing the oldest one to just be the best that you can and do everything you can to, make me feel good, even if that's not what you want to do. But she don't do that with the youngest one, you know. And so the thing about it is, when it comes to their children going into relationships and meeting new people, that's how you can kind of tell, like, what happened with you coming up as a child. Because it's like your relationship with your mom is so on edge. Like, you're constantly trying to show her that you have finally done something right, and you can see it early on in the relationship, because they so hard up on themselves because of the way the mom or the father, whatever, has programmed the mind to make them think they have to be that way. They try to kind of put it off on their partners. And that's where you have to come in at and say, now hold up, you know, just because your mother or your father raised you that way and have you thinking that you have to constantly, you know, bring a good report to them. I'm a person and you don't own me. I'm not a kept woman, and you're not going to just have me just to say you got me, but don't do what's necessary to maintain a really good, healthy relationship. And that's not going to be possible if your partner is so heavily attached to this toxic parent who's a narcissist, who has a need to continue, to like just control and have so much power over them. And you will know that they do. You'll know that they have so much power over your partner, because it's like they need to always mention you in a way. You can even hear it in the way they communicate with their parents. It's like they need them to be proud of them. I need your approval. I did good this time, right? And stuff like that. And that narc parent is also going to show you that ugly face, because when you can see straight through them and a partner don't think that you're not even going to be thinking that way. They think that they can pull a fast one on you, as they have them all their lives. It's like, but when you can see them, you know that narc parent is going to try to play that innocent role, like they were just such a good parent, and the child, your partner is the one with the problem, just like all narcissists do with this whole smear campaign. The mother-in-law, they will do it, to your partner as well, to their own son or daughter. They will make you think that everything about them could be a little bit more better. And so that's why they're going to keep thinking that way. But, it's up to you to be a really good support system for your partner, and just to let them know that you're worthy of just having unconditional love, and everything you're doing, I'm proud of you. I'm going to support you at whatever you do. You don't have to worry. You don't have to go that extra mile all the time, and you don't have to always report everything you do to your mom. Like, you got to start to be tough now and stand up for yourself. There are people that are in their late 40s, 50s, 60s probably, who are still reporting back to the narc parents, who still got that mind control over them, making them think that they have to, just go so hard behind their achievements. And no matter what you do, it'll never be enough. Because a lot of times those narc parents are living their lives through that child. They live their lives through their children, but it's always that one who they push them more and more until they just completely drive them crazy, and they don't even have a mind of their own. Everything they do, they need approval from the people around them. You know, it's like they always trying to just please everyone, and it's very unhealthy to be a people pleaser. Because you lose yourself. You don't even recognize who you are anymore because you're doing everything to please somebody else. You pretty much just living their life. You don't even know who you are. You don't have your own preferences, your own thoughts, your own tastes, your own opinions because you're afraid that someone's going to go against it. Everybody can have their own opinion on things. And we can, peacefully agree to disagree. But when you come up under a narc parent, you don't know how to think that way because that narc parent, first of all, in their mind, they're perfect and they raised you right. And so there's no need for you to think that, you know, any other way other than how they want you to think. And they have you so brainwashed throughout the years of manipulating you so you don't even know how to think for yourself anymore. So it takes that person to come along in your life, in their life, and just kind of teach them that you can be a free thinker. You can be a free spirit. You know, you have freedom of choice. I don't own you just because we're in a relationship, and your mother doesn't own you either. You have to get out of that mind frame, because if not, you're going to continue through life, through even at an old age, still thinking that way. Even when your parent, that narc parent, has passed on, you're still going to be thinking that way until you find yourself and start living for yourself and stop thinking about, what they're going to think if I choose to do something different than they want me to. But that's how those narc mother-in-laws are. They like to pride and just be all in your business and feel entitled to knowing every single thing about you. They want the woman to think they can't take care of the man as good as they can. No, you're not gonna blow my phone up and inquire about every little thing we doing and how I cook and how I do this and how I do that, because he should have it this. He gonna have it the way I give it to him, and he's fine with it. And I don't need you to tell me how to take care of them, because they just love to just put themselves all out of place, just completely out of line with it. And they be all right with it because they're probably used to that with their past relationships, their children's past relationships, and they probably ran so many people away. But you got to stand up to them, and their own children have to learn to stand up to them. So that's the end of this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.